Right, let's get things rolling here. It doesn't look like I'll be able to finish this mission in a single clip. Still, we're definitely going to be adding to the scorecard before I have to abruptly end things. I'm pretty sure magic in general is fearsome to those who can't use it. Thankfully, Florina is pretty resistant to it since she's a Pegasus rider, and we've conveniently just gained a new mage. Is this going to be a thing for the entire game, that we gain people in every mission even when our party is full? Not that the constant growth is a bad thing, but it's going to make it all the easier for people to end up left behind because of the sheer size of the forces we have at our disposal. His business is that he wants to join us. Well, to be fair to the innkeeper, the kid was asking for his help to rescue his sister, and the innkeeper has no combat ability of any kind. If he did try to help Nils, I'm pretty sure he'd have been slaughtered pretty quickly. It's kind of hard for me to blame him for saying no so emphatically under the circumstances. Really wish these tutorial messages didn't feel the need to tell us what we just learned from the dialogue. Did the game designers just not have all that much confidence in the attention span of the audience or something? Understandable, it'd be a lot harder for a mage to hurt another mage as opposed to some mindless brute. And I suppose it's nice to know that there's a bit of a magical rock, paper, scissors going on. It's not quite as easy for me to remember as the whole sword, spear, axe thing, though. And frankly, considering Erk's current abilities, I don't think it would really matter all that much if he went against one of the mages he's supposed to have a disadvantage against. Still, we have absolutely no choice but to have Lucius deal with this first one, and we're only allowed to have Lucius do so from a very specific spot. Have I mentioned how much I dislike that this game loves to take control away from you when it's a game about tactics? Sure, it's not gonna last for long, but I just have the feeling we should be trusted more when we're 8 missions into the game already. We can very much remove the kid gloves now. Huh. Kinda surprised that Lucius didn't get his first kill in his first turn. Especially since we had no choice but to use him there, and it was supposed to show off how effective he is. Anyway, it looks like we're gonna be seeing Nils do his thing next. And while I wouldn't quite say he's as much of a relief to have as Sarah, he's still going to really make us appreciate the new support unit we've got. We'll just see how many opportunities he opens up for us as we keep pushing forward. It's kind of a shame that Nils and Sarah will never end up on the frickin' board, but then the kill board is there for me to keep track of who the best fighters are on our team. If your support units have to dodge or endure any attacks of their own, you've probably screwed up somewhere. And again, we don't even have any options for where we might want to move Nils. Seriously, I'd prefer to move him further forward so we won't lag behind too much as the others charge forward. It'd be tough for him to support anybody if he's lagging behind in the back. Well, it's cute and useful. We'll see if we use it often enough for it to lose some of its charm. Everyone would appreciate the boost, but We're only allowed to have one dancer on our team, and the dancer can only get one person per turn to double how much they can do in a given turn. Not too sure why this game calls that class bards when they do more dancing than singing and spinning tails. Hell, I've never heard of a bard that uses a flute to make their music. Usually they have some form of string instrument to go along with their narrative singing. Looks like I'm giving this kill to Florina. She may not hit that hard, but she's certainly going to be able to clear the field of at least 2 of these mages, I assume. And it helps that the enemy didn't seem to put any archers near their mages in the back. Indeed, they have some distinctive, menacing music. It gives me the impression that they're going to be the overall villains of the game. I doubt we're going to get to do anything definitive to them in this campaign, though, since Lynn's main goal is getting to her grandfather and stopping her granduncle. This is just a taste of what's to come when we get to the next character's campaign. Don't worry, I won't do anything to make the Black Fang go after you as well. We're just going to crush this batch of them and then move on. Oh, just some random wanderers who happen to be having a battle in your quiet little area. Sorry about that. I don't suppose this could be important for us, will it? Well, there's certainly no way any of our cavalry are going to be able to cross the mountain. They're going to have to go the long way around if we're going to get them to reach the boss. Probably should have moved Urk earlier so we could kill the archer there, but I'm sure he'll be able to get a good number of kills in this mission. Besides, I want the majority of our forces to be gathered to deal with the majority of the enemy's forces on the right side of the map. We want to be able to take down every one of these bastards before we leave, just like every other group that we've had to fight against over the course of the game so far. Okay, so the boss this time is a mage, and he's standing on a spot that will let him heal. That's going to be annoying. Equally annoying is that Lynn's Iron Sword is running out of swings. I know why they did it from a gameplay standpoint, but I don't think I'll ever like the fact that this series has melee weapons run out of ammo. I mean, sure, weapons breaking is more true to life than most fiction, where a sword can be used in brutal combat for centuries with no wear and tear. But come on, you mean to tell me that after a set number of swings, a sword is just gonna cease to exist regardless of what it was hitting in any of those swings? I'm pretty sure I mentioned that line of thought about that particular issue earlier in the game, but seeing Lynn's sword starting to run out of strikes to throw just kind of annoyed me there. Looks Looks like Urk is the best choice to finish off this archer anyway. I should have let him take the guy down in the previous turn. Ah well, he's just 1 kill away from becoming an ace. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to make it before the end of the mission. Yeah, definitely looks like Florina should be able to do a good amount of damage to this enemy back here. Taking out one mage probably isn't going to lighten everyone else's burden by that much, but do what you can. And please excuse me for not giving a damn about that tree that random woman we spoke to mentioned. I know that technically speaking, it's a possible shortcut, but frankly, I don't see all that much point in cutting shorts with the way we can just slaughter each and every hostile out here with the people we have, and in a decent amount of turns. The Black Fang most definitely has no clue who they're messing with out here. Yeah, doesn't look like Nils is going to be of any use in this turn, that's for sure. Maybe next one? He would have at least been able to do something if I'd been able to move him where I wanted to in the previous turn. Zane is so far out of this guy's league that it's not even a fight. Understandable, both our Cavaliers are our highest scoring members of the team at the moment. And why should they be when they've had more mobility than anyone else and have been on the team longer than anyone other than Lynn herself? I'm just spending charges on Sarah's staff for the sake of letting her gain experience. Possibly wasteful, but it's not like she has any other means to level up. Kinda similar to Nils there, and it's not like anyone else is hurt at the moment. Or at least anyone else that she can reach. It's not like she can fly over to top off Florina. A little worried that Florina might miss that attack since the enemy was in a forest and we had to leave the one she was in just to hit him. Yeah, we've got plenty of people who can finish off that swordsman there, but we need someone to hold that bridge. I'm pretty sure we'll send one of our other horsemen to the nearby village to see if there's anything worth grabbing there. Definitely liking the level ups that Sane has been getting, though I only just noticed he has literally 0 magic resistance. Hopefully we don't pay too badly for that. Dear God, we've got an annoying little traffic jam at the moment. I suppose I deserve that, since I'm sending absolutely everyone down the same narrow path. I doubt we're going to use enough fires to need a second book, but we may as well grab it while we're here. I probably should have considered getting some vulneraries, but I'm pretty sure that Sarah is all the healing we're really gonna need for this campaign at the very least. That attitude might change once we get to the next campaign of the game, though. Right. That makes 3 for Wrath now. I get the distinct feeling that a mage on a horse or a flying mount would be brokenly good in this game. So I probably shouldn't expect to see anything like that anytime soon. I know enough to know that generally I prefer more conventional means of offense and defense, but hey, we've got the tools, we may as well use them. I'm not about to throw Sarah against an enemy mage. She'd have no way to shoot back. Right. Of course we have a usable item that would improve our durability against magical attacks. Kind of surprised it's called pure water, though. Generally when people are talking about magical water, they mean holy water. And based on the clothes and buildings, this game is set in some form of fantasy Europe, after all. Right. Of course it has a limited amount of time. Bloody hell, I really would have preferred if it was something longer lasting. As is, I doubt I'm going to use it much, if at all. Kind of wish that Florina managed to draw that enemy boss out of his space there. But then maybe it's better that she didn't. For all we know, his magic power is so bullshit that even her resistance wouldn't mean much against it. Besides, she's already been a little worn down now. Speaking of resistance, Saint's lack of resistance isn't gonna bite us too hard here, because apparently these mages aren't that hard-hitting. Now, when the only one doing damage to him is the mage, and the 2 physical warriors here are gonna get ripped to shreds, it's just really hard to feel any fear for him. Yeah, that axe guy isn't gonna get to do anything. Really not getting the sense that the enemy troops are doing all that much to slow down the party as a whole, but then it's not like I was given a choice to play the campaign on hard mode, and I'm not sure how far we'll get into the series before I start feeling comfortable taking on enemies on a hard mode in this game or that. Sure, I've been complaining about how this game has had a good number of hand-only tutorial bits, but when we aren't dealing with the tutorial stuff, I'm actually pretty comfortable with the level of challenge we've been dealing with so far in this one. My only real issue has been when we aren't allowed to make decisions in a game where making decisions is absolutely everything. I know, I keep saying it, but I really feel like the game designers could have done a better job of conveying all the information that a new player could need without disrupting the gameplay to such an annoying degree. Well, it was worth a shot there, but apparently our little coin toss didn't go so well. If Urk had landed that shot, then I'm sure that Lyn would have killed the bastard in this turn. Why am I even considering sending Dorcas against a swordsman anyway? He's better off striking mages and spearmen. For enemy swordsmen, we should probably rely on Lyn, Kent, and Zane, at least in terms of melee combat. As a side note, I can't help feeling annoyed that when we saw the terrain as Urk tried to attack it, it didn't really look like that swordsman was standing on the high ground. If anything, the ground the guy was standing on seemed barely any different from a regular grassy plain. I know there's only so much the artists could have done to visually convey the terrain differences when it's time to attack and all that, but come on. I feel like they could have done more when the whole thing is he is on a mountain, he is on the high ground, which is better defensively. Well, so long as that boss isn't gonna move, I'm sure Florina can keep taking out some mages back here. Funny how the terrain advantage he has doesn't seem to translate to much of an edge when he's facing off against Lyn. I suppose that just goes to show how skilled a swordswoman she is this far into the game, and she's still got some room to grow. Guess I'm gonna use a castle to heal Florina a bit, since I don't like my chances just going after that mage. At the very least, that should draw him off the frickin' forest. That should make things a little easier on us. Probably should have used the lance instead of the sword there. That's probably the biggest takeaway from this mission as a whole, really. I've been making a number of errors, but they've all been small, all things considered. But it's still enough to make me feel leery of doing the other Game Boy Advanced Fire Emblem game on a higher difficulty. But that's a worry for the future. For now, we need to finish this mission. And finishing this mission would be less of a pain if Urk could win that proverbial coin toss here. That run of bad luck isn't really enough to completely screw us over, but it's still a bit annoying here, especially when he's just one kill away from becoming an ace. I mean, come on. Lady Luck, throw him a bone here. That makes 11 for Lyn there, and great. Now I can't help wishing that there was a bit of choreography in the fighting around here, so it was something more than just swinging at empty air, and I could discuss how much more skilled Lyn is with her curved blade than the other guy is with his massive sword. Hell, I'm kind of tempted to say her sword is a katana, considering she uses that particular quick draw style. But considering the environment we're in, it would make more sense for it to be a falchion or something. And I'm fairly certain that all the myrmidons in this game, and probably the next, will have that Japanese-style quick draw attack. That dance was there just for the sake of giving Nils an excuse to do another dance. It had no benefit for Sarah whatsoever, and I'm hoping Nils won't have too many more empty dances for the sake of dancing in this game, but better that than nothing. It just doesn't have the same impact as someone getting a move again in the exact same turn. I feel like I should be laughing that the fire mage went out of his way to take another shot at Sane instead of going for the more injured Lyn there. Though that raises the question why that other mage went after the pretty resistant Florina instead of going after the less resistant Kent. They should both have been in his range. Right. Seems my biggest issue at the moment is figuring out how to handle this traffic jam. Definitely gives me a mixed message about my leadership when our biggest challenge at the moment is figuring out who crosses the bridge and when, instead of any sense of genuine danger as we fight. I mean, on the one hand, nobody's in danger. On the other hand, let's get a move on. Well, we just managed to make Dorcas an ace here. That's gotta be worth something. I was really expecting Lucius and Urk to have the majority of kills in this mission, though, with Florina clearing things up on the side. Speaking of, now that that guy's off the more defensive ground, let's pound on him a bit more. Technically speaking, I should probably get Florina northward to Serra, but I'm not really getting the sense of her being in immediate danger. And this guy she's fighting is the only remaining mobile enemy. After this, the boss is all that remains. Well, that guy looks distinctive enough to be important. Shame that he's not going to be important anytime soon. And it's a shame that I won't be doing his specific route in this LP, because we'd have to completely replay Lynn's campaign in order to do so. He also shares way too many missions with the other character's campaign that he mentioned, Elliewood. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the fact that this game has 3 campaigns, one of them unlockable after you beat the first 2. But I just don't feel like the third guy's campaign deviates enough from the second guy's. I'm pretty content with just the first 2 campaigns before I move on to the rest of the series. And I am looking forward to Path of Radiance, Awakening, and 3 Houses too much to give this game a second playthrough for the sake of completionism before moving on. Though we've still got a long road ahead of us before we're done with this game. Yeah, that was about as close as it gets for Florina. There's not a chance in hell I'm letting her near the boss in whatever time we have left in the mission. As a side note, I just noticed that she has more kills than Lynn. Guess I just really like the mounted units. Not liking Kent's hit rate here, though.